Well, sons of bitches. Hello. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the show. You notice the hot one's not here, the fat-headed one's not here, but the retarded one is.
Wow.
Look
What
at
a
that
what
son of a bitch.
I don't know if I'll be able to fill those shoes. Hot Amy or grumpy old sports guy.
Yeah, exactly. What do you do with that? Hello, Isis. How are you?
Great.
I see your
Great.
theme dressing.
I so be honest with you. So it's okay. You texted me not that long ago. This is what I was wearing.
I literally texted you 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, this is what I was wearing. I wear so much Mackinac shit. It's unreal.
Yeah, but dude, you and Jay used to give me so much shit about my theme dressing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, whatever. I went to San Francisco. I got a sweatshirt. I was cold. It says San Francisco. And you would, especially you, but wasn't it you mostly that bitched about theme dressing?
Yeah, but I think these are different. This isn't
Not at all.
Yeah,
Nope.
but I'm
Same
like,
thing.
I'm talking about people go to every place they go to, and now they got a hoodie from Dublin, Ireland, and now they got one from Disneyland. Like, I've been obsessed with Mackinac Island since we went there as a kid, and now I've been there the last 3 summers.
Yeah.
You know,
I guess the only ones that irritate me, like grown people wearing obnoxious Disney shit all the time.
Yeah.
Like, those adults that are like, I live at Disneyland. But at the same time, they make that like their identity almost. Yeah. Like me, mine could say like trans pride on it. If it fits, if I can get it over, if it can be a tarp over this disgustingness that I am, I don't give a shit what
you
it
look
says.
Great, Mike. What are you talking
about?
You.
Thank you, buddy.
Good. You look better than when I was last engaging with you physically a few years ago. Not sexually, obviously, but
no, I've put on a few pounds and I gotta, probably. Nothing like my worst, but it's just pure laziness, dude. I gotta move more and I feel the stress more and
right.
And all that.
For sure.
And it's terrible. I have to do better. It's a personal thing. Like no one can do it for you. You can't buy it.
No, you know what sucks about it though, too? I got to tell you, and I'm not saying this in a braggy way, but I've gotten much better over the last few years, of eating better and getting in shape. And I'm not saying it that way, but like, I think about it where it's like, dude, it's not something you just, you do it for a month and now you're kind of back. Like you have to it's a conscious effort every day.
Yeah.
It's not something you can just give up. You can go on a vacation if you want. I'm not suggesting that. And like this last Thanksgiving, I ate my normal, like I have a whole routine now of what I eat, and I eat my normal breakfast, my normal lunch, and then yes, I let loose for the Thanksgiving meal and had like dessert. But like you can't. So my point when you say that is like no one can do it for you. But it's also annoying because once you start doing it, if I let go for a month, dude. It doesn't take that long, man. It doesn't take that long of starting to go to Taco Bell, of starting to eat carbs, or starting bullshit, not running, whatever.
It's totally discouraging to me too, because
I'm sorry to say it like that because that sounds bad, actually, but
it's true. There's been a handful of times in my life where I'm like, all right, I'm going to take this seriously. Like when I was younger, I used to love to run at like 1 a.m.
Yeah,
I would run in the woods. But I was playing sports then. I was on the soccer team and, so it wasn't that big a deal. And I was young. So later in life, like I could eat anything I wanted, anytime I wanted and never gained a pound. It didn't matter how bad I ate, how much fast food. I just, for the most part, didn't gain shit. Then age catches up with you and it's like, I better get.
Oh yeah.
And so I've gone on stretches where for like a week, every day I'm on the treadmill, and you naturally eat better when you do that. Cause the last thing you want to do is do 40 minutes on a treadmill and then go gorge at Taco Bell. Like
right.
So you automatically are like, oh God, I guess I'm going to eat a little healthy. I'll have a chicken. Like you do that. And then kind of what you're talking about, like, you know what I'm not going to do? I've done it, 4 days in a row. I'm going to take a day off.
I'm going to treat myself.
6 months off. Yeah. And so,
no, dude, you get sick, man. Last year, I got like sick, just like people fucking do, a cough or something, right?
Yeah,
or whatever it was, and then it's like, okay, well, there's an excuse today, there's an excuse tomorrow, and then pretty soon, dude, it's a week.
Yeah,
and if you don't fucking have the desire to do it, and like I said, I'm not trying to be like, oh, it's a lot. And it hit me literally just recently. Cause even now I try pretty hard. I go out, work out several days a week. I go to Planet Fitness, yada, yada. Right. But it still doesn't catch up for what I do when I'm on Mackinac Island in the summer because I'm always walking. I mean, I walk to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like to even back home, I'm eating what I did all summer. I'm eating healthy, but what I did all summer. And it's like, shit, well, I'm still not walking up that fucking half mile to work every day.
Yeah.
So
That's
like,
gotta be tough. Are you going back next year?
well, yes and no. I'm doing a bunch of travel in June and doing a venture in
Yeah.
June
Going on
and
a venture.
July, going over to Europe for a few months.
Dude, are you
And
worried about that at all? Are you
no,
excited,
I'm
worried?
very excited. I know there's, I guess, shit. I don't know that.
Oh,
What are you
there's
gonna
not,
do?
yeah.
I'm not
No.
gonna let that shit stop. I'm sure I'll be fine. And if I'm not, I guess I'm not. But
No, I'm sure you'll be fine. I think, I don't know where, like, I hear horror stories of like Paris, France, and I think
you
you
know
were
what?
already there,
I
weren't
went
you?
there last year, man.
Yeah. Was
And
it 2 years ago or a year ago?
not 24. So like a year and a half ish
Hmm.
now. Now, I was there, having said that, this is before whatever people think, even when you get into any political thing, any of the bullshit of that stuff, even. I heard some people that I said I was going to Paris, and the only reason I went was I'd gone to that festival, and I'm like, dude, I'm in fucking a 2-hour train ride from where the Olympics are in Paris. How can I not go, right?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
so,
Yeah, it was the
yeah,
Olympics.
yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, obviously, I guess it's gonna maybe look its best then, but I had people telling me like, "Dude, you'll be really underwhelmed." Like, nothing to even do with anything socially. Like, you'll just be underwhelmed by the city. And I was there for a day and a half. I had heavy COVID in the end, and not because anyone cares about COVID, but like I felt like dog shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like felt terrible.
That's
But
hilarious.
but they had
You
an
got you got COVID really bad in Hawaii too, didn't you?
I think that was a stomach thing, but I did get something for sure because I was throwing up, and I never
Yeah.
officially know that was COVID. The only reason I knew last year was COVID. I wasn't going to test, for anything. I was just sick, but I had been sick going on like 6 days, and I was about to go up to going up to Mackinac. I'm like, dude, should I maybe just at least go see? Like, this has been going on a week now, and I'm not seeming. And
Yeah.
so then they said I had COVID, and I think that lasted almost. I took 2 more days off of work, and then I think I still felt crappy. That was about 2 weeks where I
Yeah.
felt pretty crappy.
Dude,
But
I
anyway,
still I still have not
oh,
had COVID.
I and right, and maybe I've had it more than once. To be honest with you, who knows, right?
Yeah.
In reality,
Yeah.
you could have had it and been asymptomatic,
Asymptomatic.
or whatever.
But yeah, close enough. No, but for
But okay,
absolutely could be, but you would think with me, like as many ailments as I have, like I just
yeah.
don't get. I mean, I get sick occasionally, or I have a day where it's like I'm just staying, but like that, like
I
I've
probably
seen my
shouldn't have even
brother
said
get it.
COVID. It really was irrelevant that it was COVID. It just had the only reason that helped me is when it came to like I'd been gone for 2 weeks from work on vacation. And when you're about to call in Monday and Tuesday from work and you already been gone 2 weeks, it looks kind of crappy. So it kind of just helped that I could at least say I do have something, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? In a way, only because for me, I feel bad. Like I said, it's a bad look. You've been on vacation for 2 weeks now. Like, oh, I'm taking 2 more days off. It's like,
Yeah.
sure,
Well,
sure.
you get sick, you get sick. What are you gonna
No,
do?
no, for sure. But so anyway, what I was gonna say though is I was only in Paris for a day and a half, and I was sick, like really shitty sick, and it was awesome. I got on these e-bikes. You could rent these e-bikes, how people do scooters and shit, and I just zoomed all around the city, the little
Oh, I've
cafes.
never done the bike. I've only done the
So fun,
scooters. Those are
dude.
the scooters are great.
And when I did it there, what was awesome is, and this isn't a Europe, thing necessarily. Well, it is because they tend to have a little more of the bike lanes and stuff and the real roads. And so, man, I just put my phone on the bike. It had a little zip tie thing. You put your phone on the bike there, but like, I want to go to the Louvre, and I just typed it in, dude. And if you didn't know, you just would have assumed I knew what I was doing. Make
Yeah,
a left
yeah,
here, make it right there, just in the lanes, zooming in, making turns. I loved it. I'm going back for a week this summer.
yeah.
I loved it. So
Yeah,
I know there's some social stuff going on, but there's
you're on
always that.
vacation. I think it's easier because I can do that in California when I'm there for 10 days, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's I think you'd have to be there consistently to see like, oh, this is what people have a problem with.
Yeah,
When
no, for
you're
sure. I'm staying in hostels and I'm there for a week and I'm tooling around, you know what I
yeah,
mean? I'm
yeah.
gonna be doing the best. It was like last year though, having said that, when I went to that festival, I probably brought this up, I'm not on here that often, but like I was at a pre-party for the music festival in Belgium and just a DJ. It was this really cool big area with these old fancy buildings, and they were doing a DJ on the top of the building and stuff. And there was some guy, and I assume it had something to do with Israel or something with Jews, something with Israel, right? Some kind of sign, but he wasn't
Palestine.
yelling. Yeah, but he wasn't yelling. He wasn't anything. He was just holding a sign.
Yeah.
And pretty soon, man, a few cops, I guess, if they don't know if they call them something different, but cops came and just boom on the ground and dragged
Really?
out. And dude, I looked around and not everyone was by any means was everyone speaking English. And I'm totally by myself. I have no friends with me. And I
Yeah.
just kind of looked around with a face and I was like, oh dang. And some guy was like, well, he was protesting. Dude, the guy just had a sign.
Yeah. Dude, well, I used to tell you, like the rest of the world, like literally none of them have free speech rights.
He
None
wasn't
of
even
them.
saying nothing, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
he was though holding a sign. He was.
Yeah.
That's the
But he
free
wasn't
speech.
yelling. He wasn't doing that.
Yeah, it doesn't
Nothing
matter.
crazy.
Doesn't matter,
But
dude.
I'm sorry.
There are like 20,000 people in jail right now for tweets.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. Like
That is
it's hard
crazy.
to wrap your head around.
No, that is. But so I'm doing that for 9 weeks, and that'll be fun. And then I'm gonna go back to the island in August and work for the last few months of the season. So, oh,
Connection
there
was
you are.
lost. Was that my connection?
Yeah, I didn't. I was.
This is so weird. I've lost connection before, but usually when I do, I know it's me.
Yeah.
And it said connection lost, and
I
like
guess it
you
could
were
have.
gone.
I guess
And I
it
was
could have
like,
been me. It could have been me. I don't. It's funny because
yeah,
I don't hear it. You're talking so clear. I don't even.
yeah. So are you?
I didn't notice it. It wasn't like usually when that happens, there's a little towel before it.
Yeah,
Can I ask you something, Mike, real quick?
sure.
This is totally off topic, but I am doing this from a very clearly professional studio in
I
my
love
parents'
it.
basement, right? And I'm sitting here, and I had this discussion with somebody recently because they were a friend that came over. I have my varsity jacket sitting
Yeah,
over here that I write in a thing. And we got told for so long, and I understand why, but like you got told so long, you have that jacket, and then after high school, what a loser if you were to wear it after high school. Like, you know what I
sure.
mean? Just that loser wearing your jacket. And I kind of get it if you're like right out of high school, but it's such a nice jacket. You spend all this money. Why the fuck can't I wear it around right now? Like, what is the
Well,
deal?
I think it's kind of cool retro now. Do you have it right there? Can I see it?
Yeah.
I
I
still
got it
have
for cross
mine.
country,
Yeah.
but it's
I
and then
don't. Does it have the year on the sleeve? Yeah.
yeah, 03.
Yeah.
Where is it? Fady,
Fady.
03.
I think mine says Mike. I
Yeah.
wish to God it said Walters. Then maybe I'd wear it.
I technically could have put tennis on there, but it was my junior year and I just didn't care anymore. So I just like, well, I got something. I got the
Yeah,
jacket.
you
That's
should
all.
have added tennis.
I know.
You didn't play any real sports though, manly sports.
Running? How dare you? Dude. But I do remember this.
My dad was a good cross country runner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you'd never believe it, but he was in the States in California.
No way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Did he run anywhere after that? Did he ever do any running?
I don't think so.
Because he had to get to that army and bomb those farms
maybe.
or whatever. So
yeah, drop. Yeah, he still says that
those
that
bombs
was
were going to drop themselves. But no, you know what's funny? I will tell you one thing about that jacket. In high school I did track and cross country, but my junior year I won't get into it because no one cares. But I got so sick of track. I hated track because cross country was fun to me. You went out, it was one race. It was a long distance. You got to the thing. The boys ran, the girls ran. You went home. Track meets took hours and fucking hours. You're there, and I run the mile. So I run, hopefully not 7, but like 6 minutes, and then I'm done for the day. And you're just there.
Yeah. And you have to stay.
Yeah, because you came on a bus,
Oh,
and
yeah,
and stuff. And anyway, so I got so sick of it, and I'd played tennis a long time, and I'd heard that you could just join the tennis team. So one day at track, I just was done. We did some warm up. I was sick of it. I told them I had to go. We were doing some workout, and I'm like, "How many more of these we got to do?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know." He gets some answer he didn't, and I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. And I just left, and I quit track without telling anybody that day, and joined the tennis team. And I had this.
They must have been so pissed.
Who?
The team.
Yeah, they so
coaches.
this is where this is going. There was a football coach who was also the shot putting coach, or some shit in track. And I saw him one time. I was leaving the cafeteria wearing my varsity jacket, and he goes, "Hey, Fady, you should have a X on your jacket for all the sports you quit." And I'm like, one? One. The shot putting coach of the football team that fucking sucked is like, you should have and I joined another sport, by the way. It wasn't like I just
sort of
do any tennis.
I mean, it's tennis. I like tennis. I shouldn't like it too hard, but
me and Chris McQueen were tennis partners, and we won a regional match one time.
Seriously?
Yes.
I was gonna say, I knowing you,
we were terrible.
I don't know that I can see you being even decent at tennis.
Like, pretty okay. Well, I got long arms.
I get it. No. I know all that, but you're awkward in a weird way that I think works totally for like, I'm a runner. And like, it has that autistic fucking Aspergery, like being really good at like, I can do this. But tennis seems like a sport that would, I don't know. No offense.
Good backhand.
I mean, no offense at all, Isis. It's just thinking of you as a tennis player. I don't know.
I mean, when I say I'm pretty good, I mean, I can play with people. I'm not good, but I mean, I can play.
Yeah.
I have an okay backhand. Serving is garbage. Like I can get it across, but like, to do it fast and in the box are not easy. I can get it across, but I can return okay.
Yeah. All right.
But anyway, but I just
I'll
remember
take your word for it. I'll take your word for it.
I just remember that him saying.
Anyway, for those that just tuned in and are wondering where Amy is or Greg is out of town. He'll explain that. We're hopefully going to do the member show. I think if we can't do it first thing tomorrow morning, we'll do it Friday. So those expecting us to record something tomorrow and have it posted. Amy and I had talked about it. She's going to the Lions game tomorrow. So if we were able to do one, we'll get to the Lions in a minute. Now that you're here. So that was the plan all along, is probably have to do something Friday. I have kind of a crazy Friday and weekend myself. So we'll figure that out. But Amy had something come up today. I didn't ask a lot of questions, but she was like, "You're going to kill me, blah, blah, blah." And so it was I knew tomorrow was going to be a problem. Usually I can make it up on a Thursday or Friday, do a live show and a member show. I knew that was going to be tough. So I was like, shit, maybe I'll just do one alone. Maybe I'll just do a member show. And then I was like,
yeah.
I think Isis is home. I wonder if Isis is around. I'd love to. I haven't talked to him in a minute. And you were like, yeah, I'm home. And so that worked out perfect, which is great. People always ask, when are you going to get Isis on? When are you going to talk to Isis again? So,
thank you.
This works out well. Yeah. And I think, is the rumor true that you're going to go to the Deer Lake Athletic Club meetup?
Correct. I will be there.
Okay.
Why not? I'm right out in this area.
Yeah.
Why not?
When is that?
It's the 14th. Now it's at noon, apparently. So I guess it's a brunch situation. But that's next Sunday. Next Sunday at noon.
Next Sunday at noon, Deer Lake Athletic Club. Yeah. I don't think I have the read, or maybe I do. DeerLakeAthleticClub.com, or call them 248-625-8686. But yeah, go there, eat. They're excited. I guess people are going to be swimming, so bring your trunks.
I told people I was bringing my birthday suit, Mike.
Yeah, you're hilarious. I mean, obviously it's an impromptu meetup listeners are doing, but Isis will be there. Amy will be there. I don't know. I haven't talked to 3G, so I don't know if he can make an appearance. Obviously, I'm in Arizona, so I won't be there, but I'll be there in spirit.
When I saw that, I've actually I've been doing something where I'm cutting significantly back on scrolling on social media. Like smart. I'm like really stopping myself. So I only check like once a day for a few minutes, which is maybe this was meant to be, but I happened to see the
Yeah.
posting that it was going to happen. And I did think that was around Christmas. So I thought, I don't know, maybe he's flying back and that's why they're doing. So they just decided, hey, we
Yeah,
want to
they
do
just
one.
yeah. Yeah,
Good for
I
them.
thought about I actually thought about coming back for the Killer Cares thing. I was talking to Drew, and I was like, "Hey," I asked him, "Hey, are you guys? When are you doing the Killer Cares thing?" And he was like, "You want to go? They'd love to have you as a bartender." And I was like, "No, no, no, no. Next year. Next year, I'll come home.
Yeah.
It's too
Yeah.
late. I'm going to California already for Christmas,
Right.
so it's like it'd be too hard to just fly in for a weekend just to do that." So
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, no, 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 no. But yeah, it would be fun to come in, and I think I told Forey, like, next time I come in, I'll try to make it a point to like do like, okay, on Thursday night we're going to meet there and
Yeah.
have some drinks, food, whatever. But I think listeners put this together and we're like, hey, let's do a meetup, which is great because you know how supportive they were every time we did
Oh
a
yeah.
meetup. I mean,
Oh yeah.
people came out by the hundreds to hang out. I don't expect that for something like this with, not a kind of a sanctioned event, but listeners want to do it. That's awesome.
For sure. For
So
sure. Yeah. It
yeah,
should be fun.
that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, it's so funny, dude. The way I prep shows, I'm like, okay, me and Amy are doing a show. If it's me and Isis, okay, I'll make sure we discuss these things. I have these stories, kind of keep it light. And so I prepped the whole show for me and Amy to go hard in
It
the
sounded like it
paint.
was pretty last minute.
And yeah, dude, she texted me, was like, "You're gonna kill me." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me, asshole?" I'm in a different time zone
Yeah.
too, so
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
she's trying to make it work. I'm hours earlier than her, but I've spent my day prepping. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh God, if I know I don't have to do anything, and I stress all day about it. So,
Now, interesting. This is earlier than you normally go. So it's
yeah,
funny because when you texted me, I was about it, but I joke, but I really do go to bed pretty early these days. And I was like,
yeah.
and then you were like 5:30 or so. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. I was like,
Well, when Amy texted, usually she texts at like, 2:30 my time. So 4:30-ish your guys' time. And it's like, hey, what time? And then it's like, 5:30 or 6:30, whatever. We'll
yeah,
figure
yeah,
it out. And that's when she dropped this on me. And I was like, I had enough stuff where it was like, I could go now if you wanted to go early. That's why when I texted you, it was like, oh, I can go anytime.
was
So,
it the migraines, Mike? The migraines were they getting
dude,
to her?
it's chicks. You know what? I don't know.
I
Like,
can't
but
say
they're,
anything. I'm sure they're bad. They
dude,
sound really bad when she talks about them.
no, I remember it with Beth. It was just like, oh my
No, my
God,
sister
these
gets them
fucking
too.
things. Yeah. So does the warden. It's a chick thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know that Amy has that. And I don't know if it's works. I don't pry, but
I
if people aren't feeling it, but they're such emotional creatures. Like with guys, it's like, sack up, homo. Let's go.
yeah, yeah.
And you just go or don't. But chicks, it's like, it's usually a whole thing. And for all
Well, when
Amy's
I'm doing
positives, she's
mine,
still a chick at the end of the day.
when I do the adventure cast with Amy, and if she brings up at the mall, she'll usually give me like hey, dude, and I'm in my mind, it's always like, well, why? No, if you're already telling me this, let's do it because I only do it
Yeah.
weekly or bi-weekly. So I'm like, no, like if
Yeah.
if you're suggesting you're not feeling good, let's do it another day.
Yeah.
I only do this once every other week. I can't sit there and fight
It's
through
so
it.
funny, dude. I feel the same way with her when she's like, I'm having a migraine this morning, but I think I'll be okay. Or I'm getting hungry, but I'll wait till after the show. I'm like, oh fuck. Like
At that
I'm
point,
I'm used to a career with Isis and Jay or Drew and Mike. Drew could literally, as soon as he left the show, be on trial for murder. And his life existence hangs in the balance. And he'd just be like, yeah, got to do the show today. And you'd have no idea that he had his murder trial later that afternoon. He just put that aside and
yeah.
I have an audience to entertain. And that's what I have to do the next 4 hours.
Right.
So they're not Amy's not very good at it. And when she's got a migraine, it's like, oh boy. It's like
I don't know who this is. But
I can't see the chat.
did not have a great emoji reaction. MAGA Barbie. I don't know if you know who that is or not, but she's got kind of a sad emoji face. So
Yeah.
sorry, MAGA
I don't want
Barbie.
to talk for her. Oh, okay. People are.
I knew that was her, so I
You
feel bad.
sons of bitches. Former lard and current tard. Oh
I'll take
no.
that. That's a compliment.
Yeah. Hey, it's Big E. PewDiePie is a guest on the show today. Jesus. He needs to be a grand marshal. There's MAGA Barbie with a cry face.
I'm just kidding. Amy knows how much dude, she's done a thing with me for 4 years, and I've gave her once in a while, I've thrown her a Starbucks gift card. So she's a saint in reality, but.
Oh yeah. No, she's great, but
but if you're going to be on the team, Amy, you got to be able to
she's a chick. She's a fucking chick. So they're all,
She does not have a penis, which is her first mistake, obviously.
Yeah, huge problem. He needs to be grand marshal for the event. Dude, we have to be careful. She could pop in the studio at any point and be like, fuck, go off. So
yeah, she has the keys to the kingdom.
I swear to God, I would have just taken the day off and just said, oh, fuck it, we'll make it. But I knew the rest of the week was going to be crazy. It was like, you know what? We got to go and do something. Here she comes. I stinks. Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
By the way, when you're talking about Drew, I've
compartmentalization.
Compartmentalize.
You got it.
I kind of compartment. I can't say that fucking word.
No, you got it. You can get through this.
Compartmentalize. That's the closest I can get.
Can you say that one? Can you say the one on the screen? Compartmentalization.
Compartmentalization. Yeah.
There you go.
Kinda.
Yeah, nailed it.
I can read it a little easier than I can speak it, I guess. But anyway,
what is wrong with Amy? I'll go back to crying. LOL. Why you cry? Don't cry. Don't cry.
Simmer down, Proops.
Yeah, simmer down, Roops. It's fine.
Everyone's allowed a day.
Yeah. So how do I get rid of these? Hide. Okay. Hide.
She might be doing them.
No. That's me. It's me.
I'm just kidding. By the way, Mike, I don't know if you noticed or not, but apparently I'm just blonde forever.
Yeah, I do. Wasn't it pink or purple?
So that's where this is from. I dyed my hair once in June and then once more early July. But because my hair is darker, they need to bleach it out to put colors in it, right? So this bleach, it's just a towel. Like, I'm not going bald yet in the sense that if you saw me in person, there's like spots. But it's just a tell that my hair is growing considerably slower than it has in the past because this has been bleached since July.
Yeah.
And I've had haircuts. Now it's going away. It's starting to finally.
No, it's not. It's very blonde.
But it's very blonde. Dude, I've just gotten used to the half blonde hair, I guess. I don't regret it. I loved having the pink and purple hair, but I did not expect to be blonde for 6 months afterwards because of it.
It's all right.
I'm not trying to look young. It's not. I just wanted to dye my hair.
Well, I know you wanted to have pink
for so long,
purple hair for so long. Your mama wouldn't let you, and so now that you're a big boy and out on your own,
no, you know how I got to. I had to call them, or not call them. I called my mom because they were coming up. No, my sister was coming up for the Lilac Festival, so I knew that she would want pictures of me and the niece and stuff. So now I had to tell them, and I'm like, just so you know, when you send pictures, I dyed my hair purple or whatever. And between my mom and me, we came up with that it was to tell my dad, to sell it to my dad. It was to be themed for the parade and the Lilac Festival. And that's why it was allowed.
Okay.
And then after that, I just kind of kept doing it. But
she's fine with it now, isn't she?
Now
Doesn't she recognize? Yeah.
And then it did work out well we can do this, and then I'll get wherever you want it, your regular topics. I'm stealing the show a little bit here, but like
you're fine.
When I did the art thing, where I got my photo in the art museum, and then I ended up winning an honorable mention, so I got called up or whatever, and it looked great then because now I'm an artist, quote unquote. Like it looked okay because it was like, oh yeah, he's an artist. That makes sense. And then they were fine with it. Everybody thought I looked good that day. Even my dad was like, no, it looked good. You had the suit on and your hair. You look like an artist. And now it was okay.
Totally. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Before, what a weirdo, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He's there. I win something. People are clapping. And now he's like, yeah, it looks good.
And yeah, is it still hanging in the art
It only goes
place
up for
there?
the summer, but then someone bought it. So I
What?
don't
Yeah,
have it.
what'd you make? Didn't you sell it for a few hundred? I heard.
Yeah, a few hundred, $300.
Nice.
And then I got 250 for the honorable mention. So not too bad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. How was Thanksgiving with the fam? I saw
Great.
your picture. Yeah,
Other than, man,
dude.
I said it in the post, and we can get to it. I said it in the post that I made, and I joke about it, but seriously true. Having this niece that I really am digging and loving hanging out with helps so fucking much, because
Yeah,
if it had just been if I'd been my age at this point, 41, my sister, Mongoloid Aaron Rodgers are there, the family's there,
yeah,
and we don't have much to do after that anymore. Like we're old enough that we hang around a little bit, but we don't have much. What are you gonna do? It's cold out. We don't do that much.
yeah.
And now you have this little ball of fucking energy running around and playing tag and hide and seek and shit. And it did make me completely just zone out about that game. Whereas in
Well,
before, I would have been sitting there just being like, well, this is fucking annoying. That's the season. This is that, blah, blah, blah.
oh yeah, yeah.
I
No,
would have stewed it so much longer.
there is something. How old is yours now? 3.
Just turned 3.
3. Yeah. So when Marshall
And she
was
doesn't
3,
care about the Lions.
yeah, none of them do at 3.
Right.
But when Marshall was 3, or Reed's kind of a different case. He's probably a genius on some level. So he's like his head works different even at 3. You're like, but Mad Dog and I, we had art. And so me hanging out with a 3-year-old is like perfect. It's like, yeah, we totally get each other. We're painting nails today. Perfect. Let's go.
Right.
And so it's awesome. The problem is Isis, probably somehow, depending a little bit on how they're raised or just how their little personalities develop.
Yeah.
They're going to hit like, and I literally can almost pinpoint the day. Like I was driving Marshall to school and it was still, he's like 8. And, the first part of the year when I'm driving him in, he'd say something and I could just fuck with him the whole ride there.
Yeah,
I just fuck with him and be like, oh yeah, I talk like an idiot and this and that. And he wouldn't get it. And like at one point, halfway through that year, I'm doing that and his whole attitude changed like in an instant. And he got what I was doing and it wasn't funny to him. And he knew I was making fun of him. He knew I was poking holes in everything he said or wildly agreeing with him in an absurd way.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it all changed from that moment. And since then, and then they start thinking they're really cool. And it's like, oh, this guy stinks. These ones stink when they start to do that because they're still basically retarded, but they think they know everything.
Yeah.
And, and it's not as bad to me as he does to his parents. But it's like, oh God, Isis, it's so awesome right now. Where they just,
I mean, I'll have to see. I just progress how it goes.
It's a girl though, so maybe a girl's different.
I significantly enjoy. I will say she has already a fucking memory, and it's like, which is good and bad. Her memory and her hearing at times are crazy, and so like
the hearing.
Yeah, she can. We're in the other room, and I'll be like, what would that? What that? What that? Or something, and it's like, if you say anything that she might be in, like if you happen to see some cookies up in the top, she knows about cookies and you're like, oh, there's some cookies. What's up there? What's up there? And then also like I've in the last week. So think about it. I've only been home like 5 weeks. One time, the first time I hung out with her since I've been back, I drove her to a park, a metro park, but I got a little turned around and had to check my phone to get to where her playground was. I've now driven her 2 other places since then. And both times in the car, Uncle E, remember when you got lost driving to the playground?
Oh, yeah, of course she remembers that.
Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, I got lost 2 months ago driving to the playground.
Yeah, that's all she has. At this point, that's the only card she can play. So she's fucking with you a little bit.
No, she said, she's already kind of got a little sense of humor on her for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember she has reminded us several times that I got lost going to the park one time, almost 2 months ago, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, my Thanksgiving, the food was great and all that, but it's just something about the Lions.
I I went into I've had such a bad feeling all year. I got to be honest. And I know Amy's trying to talk me off the ledge. I've been in a bad place with them all year. I
Yeah,
never
they
felt
stink.
like I never even going into the year. I was like, just really hoping I was wrong, but my feeling was so skeptical. And it obviously has been proven out to be kind of true right now. I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the year, but they're playing terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible.
No, I just, I
The
don't want to
play
jump into
calling.
the same old Lions. I don't want to do that trope that so many people do. I
Yeah.
do think it's a different organization. It
I
has
do.
different kind of leadership in there. You hope for the best, but my God, dude, I was looking at there's a tweet going around that's gotten pretty popular about the Lions' last 10 days.
Oh boy, I don't even know if
And it's lose to the Packers,
yeah.
Terrion Arnold on IR, Laporta out for the season, Raymond, Glasgow, St. Brown, and Brock Wright injured. Kirby Joseph injury, Dan Campbell says, might linger until next year. And Frank Ragnow unretires and then retires again.
By the way, the whole Frank Ragnow thing. God bless him. Good for him. I want to hope that somehow this was all very pure, but like,
I don't buy it.
couldn't he have decided even a week ago? Like, because if he really if he waits till this Wednesday, the last day before he can even possibly do it this year. And by that point, to be honest, I remember people were getting excited that he was coming back. And I was saying, everyone's saying he won't be able to play until the Thursday, until the maybe the St. Louis game. So he's missing the Packers game, missing the Dallas game. And I said, there's a chance it won't matter by the St. Louis game.
St. Louis.
Or St. Louis, LA.
Oh,
Sorry.
the Rams.
The Rams.
They're going to get fucking trucked by the Rams.
No,
I know the Rams lost
but when
this
they said,
weekend.
"Oh, he'll be back by the Rams game," well, they're going to be out of it by the Rams game, possibly.
Yeah, that's what G was saying. That's what G was saying.
I was not even excited about him saying he's coming back because I'm like, well, they got to beat the Packers first somehow, and then they got to beat the Dallas. And so if the Rams, what if they lose these games? Who cares if he's back playing against the Rams?
Yeah, no, I want to know, is he possibly going to be back next year? But everything I was reading about
when did he? I
that injury, I don't buy it. I don't buy it that he just
the timeline of all this.
I don't buy it that you sauntered into the Lions like, I'm back. They put out a big tweet and then you find out on a physical you have a grade 3 hamstring tear. Like, what? That's like removed from the bone. Like, it's hard to walk.
And look,
it just doesn't make any sense.
And I'll say this, dude. The dude was 100% a beast, and probably a big reason of why this Lions team was so good the last few years. There's no question about it. But he retires after the draft. He couldn't have done that before. He couldn't have made that decision before. And then he decides he's going to
it was like Barry.
The Wednesday before his last day to do this retirement thing.
Yeah.
Or the deal where if you're retired, you can come back or what. And then he can't even play. And it's like, he couldn't have done that. He couldn't have made that decision 2 weeks ago where he would have been like, oh, I'll set it up so I can play on Thanksgiving. Why wouldn't you really were sitting around that whole time?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Something stinks about it. Something's off.
Were they calling him? I want to know what happened. Were they bugging him and he just agreed to it finally, or did he? Or really, where there's nothing going on, no communication, and then he just came to them?
I'm sure Dan Campbell was in some sort of communication with him, but
yeah,
it just looks bad all the way around. I don't know. I hope that it just sucks that we haven't had that feeling for
a while,
a few years now of like, oh, we're in week 11 and the season's over. Like, that sucks. It sucks.
I have to say 2 things. 1, optimistic, and 2, pessimistic. 1, you could look at this for sure and go, you know what, man? They've never really recovered from last year. Maybe the injuries, the coordinators leave, blah, blah, blah. If they go into this year, they've been kicked in the teeth a little bit. Okay, we're back to earth here. We gotta go. We gotta draft right, whatever that means. Okay, maybe they come in next year. They still got a lot of these guys there, right? You're gonna have the run. You're gonna have St. Brown. You're gonna have Laporta. You're gonna have
Gibbs.
You know what I mean? You're gonna all these guys, right? That's kind of the optimistic way. The pessimistic way, and I hate to use a caller from sports radio necessarily, but I do think they made a point to me, and it was like, I love Campbell. I do. you got to give him a lot of credit for all that's happened here, right? But is he getting exposed a little this year in the sense that like his coordinators leave? Look what Ben Johnson's doing in Chicago.
Yeah.
Now he's running the plays, by the way. He picked a coordinator that he had to take control over.
Yeah.
And he's been running these plays the last few weeks. And dude, I'm sorry, but I know I'm not a professional by any means, but I think there's been some highly questionable calls he's been making as the coordinator. Is he getting exposed a little bit here?
Yeah, I think so. And I remember talking to Troy quite a bit off the air about what was going on when the whole Ben Johnson thing, when he came back for another year, and it was really exciting, but it was like, he's going to be gone next year. I remember having extensive conversations with Troy, like, is there any way you would even like keep the idea of like, do you ditch Dan Campbell and keep Ben Johnson and make him your head coach?
I get it.
And then we always came back to like, no, like the culture matters. Being a coordinator is different from someone who's overseeing kind of the whole operation, and it can't be that drastic. But this year playing out the way it is, my problem isn't with like, oh, shake up and change is hard. It's different. The Eagles went through it 2 years ago with both coordinators being gone, and then they won the Super Bowl the next year once they kind of settled down.
Right.
The play calling looks from day one. So you can't even go, oh, it's John Morton was the problem, and Dan Campbell has his hands around it now. He's making the calls. That's weird as shit to change midseason. But the calls look bad all the way around.
Dude,
all the way around. It looks like a boring. Like, I firmly believe that Lions offense, it's happened a handful of times in the modern era of football where a team puts it together, and you can look at the Rams with Kurt Warner, the greatest show on turf, where it's like, holy shit. What the Lions have done the last couple of years, the whole league is copying it now, except the Lions. The Lions don't appear to be doing it. I flipped on that Bears game. Well, it was on in primetime. So I watched that Bears game, and it was like, I tweeted something about, oh, it's nice to see the Lions offense being utilized. It just sucks that it's in Chicago. Because you could see the motion. You could see, Cliff, you're right. Every coach in the league is on the going for it on fourth down every time. Use the punter, Dan. Yeah.
In the league. He had one last week. He had one against, I think it was the Giants. I don't think it was maybe it was Green Bay, where it's like, dude, I'm even for the aggressiveness, dude. But we're talking 4th and like 3 from like the 50, or it was like their 45, and he's running it up the middle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Our offense, our defense cannot stop him at the 50 right now. It's not, we need as much yardage as we can on a field possession game or some shit.
Yeah.
And so
against the Eagles, it was inexcusable too. 0 for 6 or 0 for 5, whatever it was on fourth down in a tight game. You're like, dude, you got to know who you're playing, where you're playing, what the score is matters. And
I think, unfortunately, I think he's awesome in a set. Like he has a culture. The players love him. You can understand when you watch when they've been doing well in the game. The videos come out on Monday about the game ball. You can understand why the players love him and play for him. Unfortunately, I think we're finding out though that, man, he really needed Ben Johnson to be that coordinator. Like he brought that together.
Yeah.
And those 3 is like, God, if we could have just had those 3 as a pair, a little longer for sure, or at least a 2 for sure.
It's funny, Isis. I know. I got a text from the king himself, from Jay.
No.
Yeah. How fucking Jay, I'll read part of it to you. How Jay is this?
I can only imagine.
Dude, you can just tell. It's like, oh my God. And I told him, I said, hey man, I think about you and Isis a lot. We'll have to do something sometime. That'll be really special for people. Yeah. But tell me how fast you can tell this is Jay texting me.
I'm sure. Well, let me see.
Miguel. Oh, happy Thanksgiving. Turkey emoji. Can you tell already that it's Jay?
Yeah.
I saw the Francis Ragnow story and thought of how big a rod you must have over his triumphant return. You know football, and therefore you've been fully aware that Goff's recent struggles are due to the different feel of Glasgow's pre-snap nuts on the back of his throwing hand. It's more than enough to throw off a man's timing. My other thought, this Francis retires out of the blue, then returns thing has Michael Jordan retirement vibes. Anyone know where Francis's dad is? Because he's about to get shot on the side of the road and have Francis's NFC North ring championship ring pried off his dead finger.
By the
Yeah.
way, with him coming back, I don't know the rules, but he came back and then he failed the physical. But he came back assumingly. Does that mean he still gets the contract, or because he didn't fail he failed the physical, he doesn't?
Probably not. Probably not. It probably was, but because I think before you sign officially back,
okay, you have to have the physical.
You have to clear physical. Okay. So my guess is no. But does he come back next year? 3G seems to think that he'll definitely be back next year. But 3G also thought that Jim Harbaugh was never leaving Michigan. So take it for what it's worth.
Right.
So
I don't know, man. I'll just say it's a bummer. I'll try to say this. I agree with you that I really don't think this is, as far as the franchise is concerned, the same old Lions. I really believe that Sheila something Hampford
or Ford Hamp.
I think she does. She significantly cares. She's proven that she cares more than more by far than William Clay Ford ever did. Like, I know she wants to win. I thought Spielman did a good job. They brought Spielman in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's proof that they had their best seasons ever in the franchise, pretty much. So, like, I get it. So I don't think it's the same old Lions in that sense. But man, the window seems to me they got next year.
Well,
they have one more
saying
offseason.
You have 3 years probably left with Gibbs and J-Mo at this level.
Yeah.
Of speed and all that. Like you have a window. You need to take advantage of it. We'll see, but it's really depressing
because last year,
sucks.
Man, you win. Like, I went into this year feeling like this already. I really felt last year was the year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It just was. Everything felt right. Things fell into place, not just because of the 15 wins, but just things fell into place in a lot of ways. Even with the injuries, still a lot of things just fell into place. You got this number one seed. Oh my God, going to that game. I don't even want. That's going down
the Redskins game.
Don't have to go. Yeah, that's a
dude. I think the bigger fault. I still go back to the 24-7 lead over San Francisco at halftime.
Yeah,
like that to me.
No,
first
you're right.
Of all times to not go for it on fourth down, that they could have gone 28-7. I think that game's over. And instead, Dan Campbell took 3 points, made it 24-7. You cannot lose a 24-7 lead at halftime of the NFC Championship game. Can't happen. And I'll go a step further. I think that Lions team beats the Kansas City Chiefs.
I do too.
That's the thing that I keep coming back to that kills me. I think the Chiefs were ripe for the taking. It took another year, when the Eagles just smoked them. Like, that's what I think of with the Chiefs. But that, the Niners never should have lost to them in that Super Bowl. They were one play away. It's, it doesn't matter. You did lose. But the Lions losing that game to the fucking Niners, I
went on a goddamn walk. I had gone to see Pat fucking Green.
Of course you did.
That weekend. And it sucked. I remember at the time hating that I was going to have to rush home hungover to watch this NFC Championship game. I did it.
Yeah.
And I got there, halftime happened, and I went on a walk. And I was walking around my neighborhood. And it was the only time in my life I was allowing myself to visualize what I thought could happen in the next hour and a half to 2 hours. I was going to dye my hair blue that week. That was 100%. I was going to dye my hair, getting ready to go down the Ford field and watch it was all in my head. And then I remember I sat down, and if you recall that game, it went very bad very soon in the second half. It didn't ease into bad. They got the ball and scored right. It was something crazy where right away it was and I was just oh shit.
I don't remember.
I just remember I started watching the second half. I'm I went on this walk. I was oh my God, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. And I sat down to watch the second half. I just remember very quickly. I'd have to watch it again, but just going oh crap.
I
Nope.
remember not
Falling
having
apart,
that
falling
feeling.
apart.
I remember scrolling through Facebook and Twitter and the amount of people that were already booking flights.
Yeah.
Like it was over. And I remember sitting on my couch because I like to watch those games alone.
Right.
I remember sitting there thinking, do not count your chickens. You are in a playoff game. I know this is new to the Lions.
Yeah.
Do not count a fucking championship caliber team out.
Right.
That you need to come out with authority and put your foot down and you take this game. You cannot and it's exactly what I fear, because I was honestly, my dad wanted to disown me, but I was pulling for the Lions.
Yeah.
I was still torn, and I was still, I always had the feeling like one of my teams is going to the Super Bowl. So,
Right.
But I was bummed, man. I was really bummed because of the Lions' history, how much I knew it would mean to the city, and how exciting that team was. But yeah, I remember having that thought at halftime. Like, don't even think for a second you've won this game.
By the way, Mike, this came up just randomly. I was doing a content for my Patreon page. You can search it at eVentureCast on Patreon.
Yeah.
But I was going through my cups display, like my cups collection over the years of plastic cups, whatever. And I was obviously not here for this one, but you will care about this one. I have a Super Bowl cup from the Pontiac Silverdome year.
Whoa. Yes. Super Bowl 16.
Yes. When famously your 49ers beat the Cincinnati Bengals. And when I saw that, I thought of you. I thought, man, Mike would like this. And this isn't like a knockoff that you're buying on, Etsy or something. This is from the back in the day.
Wow. Yeah, I'd like to see it. Next time.
You want me to give it a second?
Yeah, go ahead. Go. Are you going to run and grab it? Yeah, I'd love to see it. Hey, this part of the show is travels upstairs to grab the cup from 1981. I guess that was. This part of the show is brought to you by our friends at Mitten Millworks. Dreaming of a home that truly reflects you? Tired of outdated spaces holding you back? At Mitten Millworks, they're your local experts in residential remodeling, handling every detail from stunning basement finishes to sleek kitchen and bathroom overhauls. Need custom built-ins that maximize your style? They've got you covered. Plus, their cutting-edge 3D drawings let you visualize and perfect your dream layout before they lift a hammer. Why wait? Call Mitten Millworks today at 248-497-7780 for a free estimate. Let's craft the home you love right here in the Mitten. So people, give them a call, 248-497-7780. And of course, they listen. So have them out. If you're thinking about any remodeling projects, get some. You might as well get a TDC listener on board and have them do the work. It's always fun to talk about the show, talk about how much you can't stand Easis, whatever.
What a professional, Mike, throwing a read in there while I went out to do some.
Hell yeah.
Almost like you've been doing it for 25 years or so.
What does that say? Fellow. Oh, love it. Great to see Eric and Mike together. Eric is spelled with a C. But thank you. Oh, yeah. Pontiac Silverdome.
Pretty cool, huh?
Is that all it says is the one side?
Yeah,
they don't have the helmets on there? Dude, that's hilarious.
So that's how you know it's like legit old. Like this isn't like now they would throw something else on there still, or there's no NFL logo on here. Nothing like that. The shield isn't even on here. It's just Super Bowl, Pontiac Silverdome.
Yeah. It's so funny, dude. That year we were in Michigan, and my grandfather in San Francisco had season tickets to Candlestick Park, was at the game with the catch and all that.
Yeah.
And season ticket holders for the franchise. No, they almost lost it after that. Season ticket holders had first dibs to buy tickets for the Super Bowl. Like they held, the Silverdome held, I don't know, 90,000, 100,000,
something like that.
90.
Yeah, 80,000.
And my dad was so pissed. My grandfather had access to 2 tickets for $25 each to the fucking Super Bowl.
Even back then, that's cheap, I have to feel. I know that the times have changed, but even back then, $25 seems
crazy cheap.
Reasonable. Very reasonable.
Yeah. And so he was just like,
I'm not going to be
my dad was like, really? You didn't buy the tickets and just send them to me? I would have taken one of my because I was like 10 or 9 at the time.
9's prime, dude. You go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Etard, Frosted Tips. Get that throwback show with Jay together, boys. No time like the present. Yeah, I haven't asked Jay. I'm sure he would, but it was nice to hear from him. We went back and forth for a while. He had the Lions game on, and he had a bunch of people over and for Thanksgiving. He's darn great as always.
You know what I was going through my room to try to get rid of just trying to get some clutter out of there or whatever, and I found I still have a drawing, as you so well stated in your read, I think there, that the sweet pie, she drew a card for me one time.
Oh, really?
It was a drawing of me, and on this inside it said like, "Have a fantastic day, Big E," or E or whatever she used for me. And yeah, so I still have that.
Dude, have you seen pictures of them?
I have.
Like,
crazy.
It's crazy. We had them doing drops. How old was she? 3?
Dude, she probably was Kaylee's age at this point.
Was she 2 or 3 years old?
Not that old, man. I'm sure.
I mean, where she's lisping and like she's going. Is she a senior in high school or going to college now or some shit? Like it's crazy.
She's definitely in high school for sure.
Yeah, she going into her high school. And Mike, I don't even recognize Mikey. Like I don't even see. He's a full grown man now, like a fireman.
Yeah,
he's fucking built like Jay, tatted up. Like, and I'm looking at him like that can't be Mikey. That can't be the little fucking 10-year-old that we were. That
that's crazy. It's
crazy.
It's how it goes. Life. That's how life goes. But, it's so dumb because the conversation we're having. I know. It's just how it goes.
I haven't seen them in so long, though. I haven't seen them in years. A few years goes by, and it's like they're full-grown people now.
Well, that also happens, like for me, unfortunately, and whatever, it's fine, what it is. But I live at home still. I see my parents grow every day, right? So you see them age every day. So there's no big changes. But then, like recently, I saw one of my good friends' parents, who I'd seen a lot in high school. Used to hang. Yeah. I hadn't seen them in a long time, and like see somebody, even someone that age. And wait 10 years and see them and go, oh,
yeah,
dang. Yeah. I always see like Chubbs, dude. I see your parents as like the people that were driving me to cross country practice in high school. Now it's like, oh my God, your parents are old. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
It's wild. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast it goes, Jesus.
It goes like a blink, Michael.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see, to get to a couple things, the, new Epstein files were released. Have you followed the Epstein story at all?
I know that it's happening. Not really. I don't know. I'm not trying to be snarky about it. I just don't. Other than I know that they were going to release some, and they made some vote, and one of the House or Senate passed it, and I that's all I know, really.
Yeah. Well, now the Democrats are offering a rare, never before seen glimpse at Epstein's private island. House oversight. Democrats released downloadable versions of 10 images and 4 videos touring the island. One image was edited and redactions of writing on the blackboard, all this kind of shit. And I just look at this. What's that?
It's so tough because I know you talk about this on a regular basis and I don't. So I hate to like say things that you probably already beat to death. It just, to me, all this thing is just like, okay, there's this big list. We all know that there's a lot of very famous people on there. Actors, singers, politicians. And so like, what's going to happen? They're really, oh yeah. You're just showing me photos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, doing some dental work there. Nice.
Yeah. Right.
When you're on the island diddling kids, you got to make sure you get your teeth looked at. So
look at the masks of these men too.
Yeah.
Like it's just creepy, weird.
Oh, the whole thing. And so like, my point is, I don't even understand. So what's going to happen? They release the list and what? I mean, what happens when there's Democrats and Republicans on this list? And that's
why they're not gonna release it.
Right.
Here's the thing, though. One of the images, and I don't know if I thought I had it, but maybe I don't. Is of like a blackboard, and on the blackboard they've redacted some names,
right,
or some words. So it's like. It's just like random words on a blackboard, and then you black it out a couple bars over it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just know that to anybody, like that could be the phone number to someone. And it's like, yeah, you need to redact that. You can't just put someone's phone number out there.
Yeah.
You know, some accountant that you use. But I know there's a percentage of people that are going to look at that and be like, that redacted part there probably says Trump fucks 2-year-olds. Yeah, like there's no winning. And so I know they're going to have to redact stuff like that. There's a picture of like an old phone, and it's got like New York office, Darren Cell, Rich office, Mike Cell, and then it's got a black bar Cell. Like they've redacted whose name was that,
Yeah,
and it's like it just leads people down whatever rabbit hole, whatever side they've already chosen.
Photos right now, like what? I don't really get it. So the Democrats have photos of the island, and they're releasing them as if they're the ones, like what? Telling?
I guess
This is what it looks like.
transparency.
Who cares anyway? I get why people would care, but I don't mean it like that.
They want to keep the Democrats. So why would they be releasing some of this stuff? And if you pay attention and you look at what's being released, almost all of this has already been released before. Most of this is not new. So if you see it redacted, you can also find those unredacted, and most of them are phone numbers of people.
Yeah.
Like those are already out there, but it looks like a big deal. So why would the Democrats? They want to keep this in the news. They want to keep this in the news for the midterms in 26. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not good at compartmentalizing, as you all know. Super chat, $20, $19.99. This is for Big E, Mike. Give it to him. As soon as I figure out where the money lands, I will. I promise you.
Well, thank you, that person.
David Helm. It's our old buddy, MLS. I needed him yesterday, but
I have him on personal retainer for all my
for all your legal issues.
All my legal issues that come up on a regular basis.
It's funny, man. I got a text from someone you know very well, and I know very well. I don't want to use names, but she was on a yacht at Epstein's Island last weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about now.
She was like not on the island. Someone else owns it now. Some other billionaire owns it, and they're going to turn it into like a 5-star resort is the plan for Epstein Island.
That seems crazy.
Like half the money goes to the Virgin Islands government or something like that.
Yeah.
As like, a payback for Epstein diddling kids or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So they made some deal. So
people will, but like, resort.
But yeah, I got video from her the other day, of there's Epstein's Island and there's a yacht. It was someone else's yacht out front of it. But yeah, here's video from that they released.
Oh shit! I thought that was
Pazul there, and what do you think, Jesus?
It looks very old.
It does look old, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks to me like almost like when you go and look at some of these Saudi or like North Korea or some shit like that, and they show you, this. I don't know. It just looks very dated. It doesn't look very like it hadn't been modernized in a while.
Yeah.
Like they did it in the 80s. Or 70s even, and that was it. I'm sure on the inside they have touch screens, or they did, or whatever. I don't know when they stopped using it, but
so I think they go inside. So okay, this is obviously a big path. Okay, we're back up to this big fucking platform. Okay, there's some statue that seems kind of racist. Clearly, the features of a black man with a bow and arrow. I don't know why that's your only art out by the school there. Huh?
That's left even, I guess. It's still, I mean, they must have taken shit, but
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know any of the history of that place in the sense of like what happened. Did he own it until he was in jail still, and then was it sold while he was in jail?
It was sold years later. Dude, this place looks like a shithole. I'm sorry. Like this looks like IKEA furniture. Like no offense to people that have IKEA furniture, but he's supposedly a billionaire.
Right.
Like this is the spare bedroom. It's just a regular shitter.
Well, maybe this was for the victims.
Okay, fine. Then I think this is the master.
Yeah.
It's pretty boring.
I don't even know why. By the way, guess how many rooms there was only like how many rooms were in that place? Do you know it all or not?
I don't know. I mean, that
What
just
a
looks
weird thing.
like a simple bed and dresser and shitty desk and
Yeah.
shitty fan. Like I would have thought like you, like and I know people are going to go, "Oh, well, it's on an island, so it's hard to get stuff." But yeah, but you are bringing stuff over there. So why wouldn't you bring the finest Italian marble everywhere? And
Right.
it's got to be wired up. It's got electricity. So why wouldn't you have to like if you wanted to have, because I would have thought the same thing.
Where
You
did
like
everybody
push
stay though? I
button.
wonder how many rooms. I wonder where did everyone stay during these parties? I don't know how big
I don't
how many
know.
rooms there were, but
I don't know. But it just yeah. Here's another bathroom.
there's still toiletries in there.
Yeah. All right. Cool. It just looks like a shred hole
Yeah.
for a billionaire. Like
I've stayed at nicer hotels than that, Mike.
oh hell yeah, so have I, Jesus. So have I.
I am not a billionaire. I don't know if you know that or not. I'm trying to keep it on the DL, but
yeah. Another
I don't know.
interesting.
That whole thing. I don't know. I think I don't know how much I've ever gone through this, but I'm just like I've gotten to a point where I'm such into a deep state area of life. That's why this stuff I think doesn't interest me as much anymore. Is because like I don't even trust the people that are even the congressmen that they're doing anything. I think it's all show.
Hell no.
It's all show. And so like to me, so that's why I think that's a little bit where my thing stems from of disdain for talking. I know you kind of know how much I've gone like that, but like I think that's where it stems from. I don't think that I even like these guys are all just actors to me, and some other 5 people.
I think it's worse than that. I think they're absolutely the scummiest of the scum. I think very few of them. Now you don't want to say all of them, but I think people that seek out power on that level, I don't think there's an honest bone or a good humanitarian bone in 95% of those people. And the 5% that do have that in them can't make any headway anyways. I think it's that fucked up.
No, that's true.
You shit his pants in better hotels.
That's true. I think I probably have. But I used to talk to my brother, who for a while, and he still kind of works with this, but for a while he full on was an environmental lobbyist, and he was, and he kind of still does. Riley works with politicians to pass, bills, and he was living in Montana and trying to pass bills to help the environmental stuff. And I would ask him about that, right? Like, cause he's talking to these people. And I think that you're right. What you said at the end is that I think there are people that go in at some point trying to do good, maybe, or with a good intent. And the people that stick to some, and everyone's going to give a little give and take, but the people that mostly stick to good intentions or with good intentions don't move up.
Yeah.
So there are people in places in government, I am sure, that are really wish they could help. And maybe their thought was, I'm going to go in, and if I get in somehow. But the people that rise to any level of power, any level where they're making real decisions, I think you sell yourself to get. I've recently tried to decide if I believe that celebrities even become celebrities on accident or not in reality. So, mega celebrities, if they're not just chosen by people, in a way, like do they get there really? I don't know.
Oh,
that's another talk. But
probably some of them are legit, but I kind of know what you mean. The politicians one is just so disturbing. And I'm sorry, Lynn. Hey, I love IKEA. Yes, I do own some furniture by them. So do I. So does I have family members that
you guys aren't billionaires. That
you're not billionaires.
We're presidents and A list celebrities we're partying at.
Right. That's the point. It was like, oh, I thought this was some luxury over the top, place, and it kind of looks like a shithole. Is the point? Yeah, I think these are the worst of the worst. I think celebrities in general, Hollywood ones, are pretty scummy people. I think it's out of control ego when you're talking about them, and I think politicians are the absolute fucking worst. I don't think they care at all. I think it's way more likely that House Democrats release these for transparency. They're very good at going out and being like, that we need to take this out. I don't think they give a flying fuck about children being abused or poor people. It's about how can I make this look like I care? I have to come off appearing like I care for people, and I don't buy it. It's what we used to talk about. I'm rolling up my sleeves and getting to work for the American people. Like,
people say,
it's
Mike,
such a fraud.
If you watch, and this is a little simplistic, but if you watch television shows and you want to look at politics, there's three that I've heard this reference before. There's three that people will use, and they'll say like a House of Cards was like what everyone kind of thinks it's like, and extreme, and there's literally he's walking around, he's murdered people and whatever, right? And then there's like the West Wing, which was like idealistic, and like, yes, there was Democrats and Republicans, but they all kind of deep down they're trying to work for what's right. And then there was Veep with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and yes, it was a comedy, but I've heard more in interviews people say that was more realistic than the two, because, and if you've ever watched Veep, I don't know if you have, it's a great show.
I haven't. I've heard it's great, and I know you were a big fan.
But like there was a scene I remember. There's just scenes in that show where that was like the more realistic one. There's this one scene where she's sitting there and she going to some inner city school where they're gonna paint the new playground, right, or some shit. And she's got some orange shirt on and she hates it. She's in the limo going there before. She's bitching about it. I'm look like a fucking pumpkin, blah, blah, blah. She gets out there. She makes the speech. And this is going to help kids and blah, blah. And then she's walking off. She's like, get this fucking thing off me.
Yeah.
So I've heard people make that like analogy that House of Cards is kind of what we all think it's like, but it's not that dark maybe. West Wing is like idealistic. And Veep is like, yeah, that's kind of where it's at.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
There's probably truth to it. I've just, I've gotten to the point where I don't believe any of them. And I believe the ones that do mean well. I think someone like Thomas Massey, even Ro Khanna on the left, seems like he's well-intentioned, as crazy as that sounds. I think those people exist that are like decent people.
Probably
that
like listening to your boy Bill Maher these days. He goes on quite a bit of rants, kind of like being pretty left, but knocking down the right, or not little left, but knocking down the left too. Like,
the left has just gotten so crazy. He sees what I see, which is these people have, they're
he's
floundering.
A leftist. He's a leftist who still sees it how you see it, in a sense.
Yeah.
At least as far as I can tell.
When he goes I think he's wrong. I think he's just wrong on some of his Trump vitriol. Like, he can't fully get out of that. And that kind of sucks, but I get it. If it's, I don't know.
I'm kind of like that too. I really, this time, and I don't want to get too into it, but he bugs me more even than he has in the past.
Really?
This time,
Who, Trump or?
Yeah, I just get, and I don't watch much, but the little I see, I don't know. It's just like, the thing I always say, like, I think I've said this before, but like, I don't listen very often, but once in a while I've flipped on Glenn Beck, for example.
Yeah.
And generally I just don't listen that often, but I do. And the one thing he says where I can't, like, the hypocrisy bothers me. I think I was talking to my one friend recently about this stuff, and I think what he came to the conclusion of, what just bothers me most, is just the hypocrisy, and so I just stay out of it. But Glenn Beck is such a champion for Trump, and I'm okay with that. That's fine. That's his choice. Blah blah blah. But Glenn Beck regularly talks about how religious he is. Religion is a big factor in Glenn Beck's life, and if he has tough issues, he talks about openly that he prays for. Oh, I was trying to decide what to do in this moment, so I prayed on it. And I'm like, how is it that I'm okay with him still liking Trump, but Trump is not fucking religious.
No.
And don't even pretend that he is. And how is it that Glenn Beck never is able to say, well, and I understand he's not there, but I still think this is the guy that we need in what we want, in what
which is fine.
Wants. But he doesn't say that. He just law everything he does is right. And I'm like, dude, Glenn, he is not religious, right? Like, he doesn't give a fuck about God. And that's fine. But to you, it's
what was it? 2 Corinthians? Wasn't that
Second Corinthians?
No, 2 Corinthians, he said.
2 Corinthians, because it is 2 Corinthians.
Yeah.
So it's like that. It's things like that where I'm like, dude, I can't almost take you seriously, because, like, dude, how can you not at least acknowledge this aspect?
Yeah. No,
I just get so sick of that.
Yeah, I feel you. I think there's a lane, kind of where what you're talking about. I don't buy any of it. If Trump, anytime we used to bag him, 2 Corinthians, photo op with a Bible, like just, he is what he is. And I don't care. That doesn't affect me in any way. Just don't try and give off the illusion you are. And I don't think there'd be anything wrong with Glenn Beck going, look, hopefully he sees the light one day. Hopefully,
right. I pray for him.
I pray for him. But yeah, trying to, but at the same time, I think he's much better for the country than what was the other option.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
But when I could hear that stuff more often from people, it would make me feel like, okay, they're acknowledging to me, that's a big elephant in the room. You're going to bring up God all the time and how important it is. And this guy you think that's saving the country is not fucking religious and doesn't give a shit about God.
Yeah.
So maybe you should acknowledge that, at least acknowledge it. I don't know.
Well,
it's whatever.
I wish I believed these people. Trump went off yesterday, and I thought it was fucking hilarious about these Somali migrants in Minnesota that have stolen, upwards of $1 billion and sent it back to their homeland. And Trump kind of reverted to 2015 Trump, just like, they're not sending their best. They're,
the hits.
Yeah, the hits. Exactly. He's getting a lot of bad press. His numbers, this idea that he's going to fix the economy overnight and all that stuff, he's getting hammered for that. He's losing some support. That's all true. And so it's like, he knows the base wants to hear this stuff. The base really does. The people that voted for him feel like they're losing their fucking country with some of this, the illegal immigration that it was an onslaught at our borders for 4 years. You cannot just dump third world migrants into a population and expect that you're not going to have tremendous problems. So we played it yesterday. I'll play it for you, E. Let's see. Hold on.
Can't wait for the next shutdown too. Oh my God.
Oh, is that coming?
When's it going to happen?
They only ripped off.
What's that, E?
Okay. Oh, nothing. That's fine. Just move out. You can move on from that. Let's see what it
is. This was from yesterday. This is classic Trump. I just wish I believed them.
Malians ripped off that state for billions of dollars. Billions. Every year. Billions of dollars. And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I can say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. Our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. They came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch,
It's AI.
We don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
Call them garbage. Go back to where you came from.
I know it doesn't matter, I guess, but I don't personally care for a president talking like that.
Yeah. Dude, I hear you.
I know that doesn't matter necessarily. I know it's more about what's actually done.
Yeah.
And look at me, dude. You know me. I mean, I heard you the other day a little bit at the beginning. I think you were doing like a little talk about like, I'm the same guy. I know you're talking about politics a little, and
yeah,
I'm the same guy I was this years ago. I just, I'm still the same kind of dumb asshole or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same tard from back in the day too, who just the other day, dude, I was going out to get something at Kroger. I was just going to Kroger and back. and I was wearing sweatpants and a shitty yellow shirt, and my dad got on me about it. He's like, that's what you're going to wear to go to Kroger. I'm like, dude, I'm going to Kroger, whatever. So my point is, like, I get it, but I'm also not the fucking president of a country. And it'd be nice if he said it a little nicer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Dude, my brother has the exact same opinion. He gets really offended by a lot of people do. A lot of people do. To me, I'm done with the lying bullshit politician, but who sounds right. He sounds right, and I care about the American people.
It's too bad.
It was that guy that I hated, so I'm willing to put up with the guy that sounds like that, but he's not the like. That's what it comes down to me. I don't care. I mean it. The people that voted for him knew there was an invasion into this country for whatever reason, whether you want to go, oh, they want to give them legal rights so they can vote, and then they'll vote this way for us all the time. Like, maybe that was the plan. It seems reasonable that would be the long play for something like that. So someone like Trump saying that, okay, that's what people voted for. I'm sorry that has to look ugly, but I don't know
why. The bad thing is it doesn't have to. That's what's too bad about it, though. I think where I come from is like, man, what if you had this dude who was so confident, who's willing to be this guy, but could just, man, if he could talk normal, I know it would.
And maybe that's
maybe a little edgy still, a little edgy.
Well, that's why people liked Ron DeSantis.
Right.
That's what you can see with JD Vance, where you have educated people, but people are concerned about who's funding guys like that.
I know.
JD Vance is, part of the PayPal mafia. He's a Peter Thiel guy. Do you want a handful of billionaires funding your politician? Well, they're buying something.
I know. Yeah.
People worry about that, but JD Vance isn't going to call people garbage. He's not going to be like, they come from a shithole country, send them back. We don't want, like, he's not going to speak like that. Right. I don't care, but I just, it's like, okay, you want them out of the country? Guess what? So do tens of millions of other people. They're crashing systems. They're taking way more in freebies that are meant for disenfranchised and down on their luck American citizens. And there's no doubt about that. So what are you going to do about it, sir? Just talk and be like, they need to get out of here. Well, you're the fucking president. So are you going to do something? I don't know. We are in a position that we've never been in this country.
I will
what
say,
do you do with that?
I will say, I was watching, this was a few months ago, I guess, but I was watching some video where Bernie Sanders went into some West Virginia or Virginia city, some real Trump area, I guess, or some, area. And he did a little rally and he was talking to some people at the, the local, just like fast food place or some shit. And they're just talking. Yeah. And I've gotten into a little more. I remember jokingly back in the day, you said, I'm feeling the burn when it was the first time when he got robbed by Hillary Clinton, by the way. He should, it was a joke. Yeah. If you look back on that. But I think someone like Bernie Sanders, someone like him, I've seen a little bit of him more and more. And I'm not saying him per se, but like when I see him talking, he does seem almost like the closest I could come to is that someone's up in that level where I would be like, holy shit, I think I'd like this guy.
Yeah. I think he's,
I know people aren't going to like that either.
Yeah.
He's socialist or some shit like that. I don't really find socialism as scary as other people do, but
you should. You should.
I know, but
we have real problems in this country we need to deal with. Socialism just hasn't worked. There's been 100 examples.
I know.
Of it.
I shouldn't say
Bernie
socialism,
Sanders.
Though, but
the problem with Bernie, the 10 years we've been talking about Bernie Sanders, he used to be like, the problem in this country are the millionaires. The millionaires don't need to pay their fair share. Like, he was all over the millionaire. Well, he's a millionaire now. And so now when you hear him talk, it's all about the billionaires.
Right.
He doesn't mention the problem with millionaires anymore because guess what? Bernie is one. So Bernie loves to talk about oligarchs. And it's like, hey, bud, your side was the home to the billionaire funders forever.
Well, he hammers the Democrats a lot too lately when I see him. But I mean, but millionaires, even you could argue my parents are probably millionaires
Yeah, of
technically
course.
by assets. I mean, and I would fall under line of there is, I borderline think that there's, we talk about billionaires. I don't think there's, I don't know, I can't do the exact math, but there's very, very few ethical billionaires, in reality, in my opinion. But I don't know. It's what it is.
Yeah. You can't have the inequality this far. It used to be that you could live the American dream. You cannot do it right now. And you have a generation that is coming up into voting age and whatnot, and recent graduates, even ones that got a fairly decent degree, they can't buy a home. They can't
My dad and I were literally
raise
just
a
talking about that this
family.
morning.
Like that is a problem that needs to be addressed. Now, do you think that a president can come in like, oh, Trump's back in power, now it's fixed and 25-year-olds can buy homes? Well, it doesn't work like that. So can that be relieved? I don't know. You can't tax the system as hard as it's taxed with so many handouts and programs. You can't flood the housing market with illegals and expect that that it's going to be a level playing field for young couples coming up. Like, it's a whole lot of shit. I don't know how you deal with it, but these young people are going to vote for socialism if they get to the disgruntled point, which they appear to be at now, where they go, fuck it. At this point, I get nothing. I'd rather steal it from those rich people and just give me a home than deal with this where I can't get ahead. So I don't know how that plays out in the long run, but you have to have an avenue for young people coming up to live the American dream. And that avenue isn't there for them right now. What were you and your old man talking about?
Oh, just what you talked about. I said, he said that, that used to be that people were happy if all they had to do is, if they could just have a job, as long as they could have a place to live and food, they'd be mostly happy back then. And I said to him, I said, yeah, that's very hard right now. There's people at work, you got, let's say it's a girlfriend, boyfriend, or even a married couple, and 2-income housing, and they're working 40 hours a week each and 80 hours. And maybe they're making it, but struggling, paycheck to paycheck on food and housing. And then when the answer, well, just work harder. Well, how much harder do they need how much does someone need to make before you deserve a housing and food? Yeah. Now I'm not talking, I know there's a lot, you're right. But how much does someone, like, if my parents kicked me out I'm only blessed that I've had a parents that allowed me to chase some of these dreams I've had. My Lord,
yeah, of course.
But if tomorrow they said you're out, there's no inheritance, nothing, right? You're just out. You have to figure that out yourself. I mean, I could do it. I'm not,
Yeah, but Isis, you're a very hard worker. You always have been. You're retarded, but you're a hard worker, and that'll take you to a lot of places good.
But I'm saying, but when people get on somebody about, like, if you're working, let's say I'm not an adult rural income. Let's say I'm a single person working 40 hours a week, and it's not enough to pay for my $1,000 apartment and my food, that costs significantly more.
Yeah.
How much are you supposed to work to live? Like, how many hours does someone need to work before they're allowed to have food and housing? They have to work 100 hours a week, or 180? Do they need?
When I bought a car, from Zott Ford, when we started the podcast and they were advertising, I think I had a couple cars, but then I got an Explorer, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever it was. I think my Explorer, the first one I got, I want to say was like $280 a month.
Yeah.
For a brand new Explorer.
Right,
now it's a lease, and I didn't have that many miles. It was like 10,000 miles or 12,000 miles. I got a new Explorer 2 years later, and I want to say it was like $350 a month for a new car, 10,000 miles. Okay, so a lot of you, I didn't drive a lot, so I could keep the mileage low.
Right.
But you're talking about, like, I had most of the bells and whistles, 4x4, like it wasn't lacking anything, like air conditioning or heated seats. I had heated seats, leather, moonroof, all of that stuff. And it was, less than $400 a month. If you were to go buy that now, you'd pay $800 a month.
Right.
Like, something like that's not possible to make those ends meet for someone working full time, and that's just really
I don't know the
hard.
answer. And what sucks is on a show like this, the more I talk, the more dumb I'm going to sound because I can maybe say a few things that sound whatever.
You're doing great.
No, but I'm just saying so I don't know any of these answers. I'm just saying when my dad sits there and says that used to make people happy, if they could at least just have a place to live and
sure,
and stuff, that's true. But like that is significant. Dude, when I was in high school, just I mean, I know that was 2003, but still, dude, I remember like the idea of getting apartments. Remember, it'd be like maybe a dump hole kind of in this place, the Village by me or whatever, but 500 a month,
500 a month, 700 a month.
That probably is 1,000 a month, probably more.
It's probably more than that.
And that's like and so you think about that, you start doing the toll, and yes, you could dig into people. Does everyone need an iPhone? No. I get that. So you could dig in more on what people's expenses are. But my main thing, like I said, if I circle it back to would be how many hours when people say, just work harder, just do better, go to college. They told everybody for 30 years to go to college. Well, guess what? Everyone did. And now everyone went to college.
Yeah.
And now you got to go to get your master's degree. Well, if you get educated, more educated, spend more money.
Yeah.
And so,
it's a real problem. And I don't know that there's, I don't know that there's a fix.
I agree
from that. And I don't know that a president can do that.
I agree with that too.
Trump talks with a lot of bluster. The way he speaks is in absolutes. So if you know that about him, you kind of take it.
I agree.
Like usually in our life, a president said something and it came from the president. It meant something.
Right.
They were usually full of shit. They were usually lawyers. They were very careful and measured with their words.
Yeah.
Trump just goes, we're fixing it and we're throwing these people out and we're going to be the richest country in the world. Like he says stuff like that. But if you're being realistic about it, you know that a president can't be like, housing is now very affordable. Right. Car loans are going back to what they were 20 years ago and they're affordable. Thank you. Like he doesn't have that kind of power.
I know.
So
I don't know what like I said, I clearly am not smart enough to know the answer. I just know the thing that bothers me is when I hear people, like I said, say like, well, just work harder. Well, how, and that it comes back to that. How many hours was someone supposed to work?
Yeah.
Does someone have to work 60 hours a week so they can live?
Yeah.
And so at that point, if you're that person, why don't you say, well, why don't I even fucking do this?
Yeah, but I don't know what the answer is to that. But what I do know is you can't take a system that's already taxed like that. And by tax, I don't mean taxes. I mean,
I know what you mean.
It's a taxing toll on our citizens, our young people, our middle class is taxed to the point that they're feeling it, what Isis is talking about, where, you should be able to work. Hey, I work full time. I work hard. I go into the office and I do a good job. I take pride in what I do. I don't have to worry that my bills aren't going to be paid and I can afford groceries and I can have a couple nights out a month where I get a little reckless. That should be reasonable. What you can't do is when you're struggling with that, you can't import 10, 15, 20 million people and throw them on the teat and throw them into communities and be like, they get healthcare now because healthcare is a human right. Like, no, you can't do that. You can't fly them all over the country and set up shop and be like, no, human is illegal. Like, you can't do that. So you've made the problem exponentially bigger and harder.
Right.
And someone needs to tackle that. So when Trump, he did a freeze on immigration applications from 19 countries, like, yeah, we need to stop worrying about the third world. We need to stop worrying about fucking importing humans from India, China, Mexico. They're not on the list, by the way. And worry about fixing this young generation and helping them out to where most people went to school. Hey, I did it the right way. I got a job. I worked hard. No problem. I have a house. It's not a mansion, but it's a house. I have a car. I have my bills are paid. My groceries are no problem. I can consider raising a family like that. If that's off the table, that's a problem.
Right.
It's a problem. So I don't know how we fix that all along. But
I got to tell you one thing, Mike, it's kind of relevant to this, but more on the lighter side of it. I am super, super thankful and glad that I'm young enough that I got to go to fucking concerts, for example. Concerts
Yeah.
can be a no-go at this point.
No go.
Almost. Like,
They're a complete no go.
What I've said to people recently is like, this is what you have to do. If you like country music, if you like rock music, whatever genre you like, you just have to find a music festival that year. Oh, there's going to be the Hee Haw Festival in Oklahoma, and I'm going to go see the 50 country bands. And you go to that, and you pay, $500, but you get 30 bands, and you camp, and you whatever. Going to concerts, is fucking atrocious now.
Yeah.
Every concert, $3,000-$4,000-$5,000 to go fucking see a person.
I pull out the booklet from time to time and I look at all the shows I saw, and I'm right there with you, buddy. The bands I saw were the biggest bands on planet Earth. They all came out of America or Europe, wherever.
Right.
But for the most part, that's where they came from. They toured every couple years, and it's like, name them, from Aerosmith to like all the big rock bands, AC/DC. Like kids nowadays, I saw AC/DC for $12. You saw them for $800. Are you fucking insane? Like you've priced out most people with dynamic pricing and stuff like that. Like these people cannot talk about the haves and the have-nots. Like you better have a parent with millions of dollars who can go, oh yeah, we're going to go see so-and-so. We're going to see Taylor Swift. It's $5,000. Are you insane?
I told my sister recently how awesome it was when I first started getting into pop punk in the early 2000s, right out of high school. And I was into Sum 41s and some of these whatever bands.
Rancid
and Newfound Glory, Blink and stuff like that. Blink at that point, unfortunately for me, was done. But we would go to shows. I would go to 10 shows, maybe 15, maybe 20, but for sure 10, 15. And it'd just be like, oh, Lauren, or this other girl, Sam, I knew, like, oh, Newfound Glory's coming to the fucking St. Andrews.
Masonic,
want to go? $12, $20.
Yeah.
Maybe if they were at the Palace, $30, $40, maybe.
Yeah.
For floor seats, by the way.
Dude, I saw a Beatle for $200.
Right.
And that was like crazy money. Crazy. Can you imagine seeing Paul McCartney for $200 now?
No.
Forget it. No chance.
And I watched some thing one time on the pricing and how it all works and stuff. And I get it, but on the same hand, it just sucks because I love music so much and I love going to concerts, and I just don't go any. Now for me, I'm in a whole other world where I'm always saving up for these dumb, stupid, big travel ventures. So if I didn't do that, I could go to a few more a year because I don't have any kids and stuff like that. But it still would be hard. It wouldn't be like it used to be, where I could just kind of be like, oh shit, someone's coming next month. Let's go.
Yeah, no, that was the best. That was what I did for entertainment. Lynn says, I support Michigan local bands. That's all fine and good. So did I. Growing up, that's a young man's game. Going to bars to see the young up and comers like that. You
kind of don't know the songs necessarily.
Yeah, you're learning that's a lot of fun to do when you're 20. Going to clubs and bars but it's a young man's game. I'm not going to do that now and be that guy.
But bands where I know all the songs.
Yeah. Jesus.
And I can sing.
Yeah. Sing along. Yeah.
No, stuff like that fucking suck, man.
I think those days are long gone, buddy. Long gone. I mean, comics are charging hundreds of dollars for shows. My God.
Mike, I wish, look at, dude, who am I? Who am I? I did shitty comedy for a long time, good little stuff here and there. Dude, I want to know if you know this dude. He had a special that went on, I've noticed it on Hulu, and I have not watched it. You know me, I don't even really watch that much comedy anyway, generally. But I saw it would show up as the preview for it. And I want to know his name and see if you know him, because I saw a preview and it would show 2 or 3 minutes of his set.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying, dude, you know me. I'm not someone to be like, I'm funnier than that guy.
Yeah.
But dude, I thought it fucking sucked. And I'm like, this dude was in an arena. And he was doing a joke about Bezos, about how he was a nerd back in the day. And now he's like,
these guys doing arenas.
He did a Venmo joke. Dude, he's in an arena.
Yeah.
He's talking about Venmo me. How about you give me money right now? And I'm like,
oh God.
you're in an arena?
Well, Netflix and Hulu and them, they got into the woke shit. And so I just wrote them off where it was like,
Maybe it's that they can't be edgy at all. So they have to just find people that aren't, you know?
what is the,
I can't fucking find them, of course, now because it's,
is it someone I should know?
I don't
Or
know. Cause so you actually watch comedy all the time.
I did.
So,
I don't, just because it's on Netflix to me doesn't mean that it's worth watching anymore. Unfortunately, when it got to
God,
like,
new AI thing, fucking Google. AI, don't even start on AI either, by the way.
yeah, we'll save that for another show.
But
Yeah, believe me, dude, it's scary as shit. It's terrifying.
I'm so sorry. I can't find his fucking name right now, of course. But anyway, the point is though, it's just like, dude, the jokes he was saying I actually wanted to watch it because I wanted to
See how bad it is.
if I could find something in it that I was like, okay, that's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I'm whatever I am, but I felt like at times I could tell a joke. And to me, I saw this guy on Hulu in front of a fucking arena, and I'm like, and it gave me 3 minutes, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
A Venmo joke about cash? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No,
sorry. I wish I could have known
it's
the
weird.
name.
It used to be like there were, I don't know,
we
3
go.
comics my whole life that could be in an arena.
This guy, Sebastian.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Comics, Sebastian Manicola or something.
Fucking pose.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
Yep. Okay. So some comics think he's fucking hilarious. Oh my God, he's hilarious. I've never found a single joke funny. Not one. It's just me. It's like Kevin Hart. He's like Kevin Hart to me.
Yeah.
But I know that some comics respect him, whatever. But he's been doing that thing forever. Gabrielle Fluffy, whatever his name is, like I don't get it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
There's obviously a market. I'm an old man
and
now.
Some level, I almost try to be like J. Chris Newberg is really good about this. I don't try to be a hater. Even like younger kids, like I've really the last year really been looking inward of like how I've wanted to do this my whole life and try to be creative my whole life and on some level. And man, some of these kids these days, they get on TikTok and all of a sudden they got 1 million followers and I don't really understand why. And I don't try to hate on them. I don't have a problem, that they're just a product of what they've been. That's what they grew up with. And that's how they learn how to do that. And that's fine. But like on the same hand, it's hard to watch someone and to me think like that dude. I know. Don't get it. I don't understand.
But they're obviously selling. There's a market for them somewhere. I don't get it either.
Aziz Ansari. I don't know. Is that how you pronounce that name?
Yeah. Aziz Ansari.
He's one of those people where I actually watched his stand-up once and I thought it was terrible, but I love him in everything he does acting wise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Parks and Recs, his first few episodes of The Master of None until his last episode was all changed because he had all the sexual assault allegations. So he very clearly tried to make it be like
I watched his special where he addressed that. And that was pretty good. And he was railroaded. That was bullshit. That was in the start of the Me Too stuff. And yeah.
Yeah. And so, but like, he's an example. Like there's people I've liked in the past where I like their comic roles on TV and movies and their stand-up is not for me. Yeah. I've always been such a weird person because I liked doing stand-up quite a bit actually, but I was not necessarily.
I think you're good at it too.
At times I was good at it. At times I wasn't very consistent. Obviously, I think that was probably clearly the biggest downfall I had.
Well, you're a unique individual, Isis. That's what so much of it comes down to.
Right. But on the same hand, I do like comedy in a sense. Like when I actually like it, I like it. And when I watch some people, I'm just like, I don't understand it. I don't understand why this is funny to me. Why is this funny?
Welcome. It's about time you've gotten there, Isis. I've been there for a while. Yeah. For a while. I just figured out I'm an old man. I'm out of it.
Hey, for whatever it's worth, by the way, I don't want to, if I could mention this just as we're talking comedy, part of what I'm doing next year, going to Europe, I actually am, and we don't have to get too much into this part, but I just want to mention, I'm trying to work on some kind of thing with this, but I picked countries in Europe where they would have English speaking open mics. And so I'm going to try to do comedy in these other countries.
Nice.
And my point of saying that is
you should film them.
I will. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But my point of saying that is unlike when I went on the comedy trip in 22, when I did that trip, I was saving up so much money to make it happen that I stopped doing comedy before the trip. And which is why at the beginning I was so fucking insecure and nervous. It's really why I didn't do the Hawaii. I was sick in Hawaii, but I had a comedy opened. I had an open show lined up or open mic lined up, but the other two guys were still really sick and I was just kind of sick. And I was so nervous to be in Hawaii and go like, I'm traveling from Detroit to do comedy. And I haven't done it in a year and a half. It took me like a month on that trip to feel comfortable doing it again. So my point is I'm going to be doing open mics again. I haven't done them in a long time. I'm going to be doing open mics again starting in January leading up to this trip. So I don't just go out there and not have gone on stage in a long time. So I'll let people know, but I'll be doing open mics in the Detroit area again here in January through April, if anyone's interested. So I'll keep tuned to my Facebook page if you're on there.
Why does he act different in person? He seems more together on YouTube. Yeah, he's a weirdo.
I think if this is going to sound so douchey, that's the problem. Like, this doesn't sound douchey. I think that I think I've been so lucky. I've had my talks with my sister about this, but doing comedy and doing the podcast were the best things that could have ever happened to me. If I had never found those things, I would have just wound up at some job and I would have been this. I mean, I'm still weirdo, but like, I do think it helped me a lot in becoming a little more passable.
Dude, you're way more passable than you used to be.
But it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't done these things.
No.
Gotten beat up and got on a mic and got, beat up by you and Jay and you and Drew in the internship. And if those things didn't happen, I would have just kept working at Meyer. I just would have done whatever. Yeah. And I just would have been
It's all part of the journey, Jesus.
Yeah. So
for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, keep me posted as to when you're doing stuff. We'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up here. But thank you, Isis, for doing this. I know it was a last minute call. I appreciate you jumping in, and
no problem.
It's always good to see you. I know people love seeing you and hearing from you.
It is funny, by the way. I told this to Amy when you did one of the things I did with her recently. It is a surreal situation where Amy's now taking this role as, she's on the show, how she is and how my friendship with her began, and that whole her wedding, with that's where she really got introduced to TDC with the wedding to Rocky, getting married in Mackinac Island, the whitest wedding ever. Yeah. And then you got 3G here, who I listened to before I found Drew and Mike, because I didn't know, I had not been introduced to Drew and Mike until my sophomore year of high school through Chubbs. And all I listened to was sports stuff.
Yeah.
So
you knew Greg.
I knew Greg. I have one of their little their albums.
She said that. Yeah.
Parodies and poops or something it was called.
Yeah.
I'm sure like you guys used to talk about, I'm sure he's got about 500 of them in his garage somewhere.
Yeah.
But I had one. I listened to Jamie and Greg before school every day until Chubbs turned me on to Drew and Mike my sophomore year of high school. And then that became my go-to.
Amy mentioned that. Amy mentioned this the other day.
Okay, I apologize.
It's fine. Greg was thrilled, that someone remembered.
You know what's funny? So sorry. Do you care if I tell one little story about DFN at all or not?
No,
I was working I had graduated Specs in 06. And I and you know what? You can say stupidly or not. I don't really regret it, but you could certainly, if you're someone like Jay, he would look at this with disdain. But I graduated from Specs and I didn't really know what to do as far as finding a radio job. I'd had the promo intern at DFN or at Greater Media, ironically, but not with you guys. And at the time, I thought these dumb videos we were making were going somewhere. Burley had bought these cameras.
They were funny though, E.
Yeah,
they were.
We made very good videos. Like I would just show
your jackass videos.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We did them very well.
Yeah,
stupid. I look back on it and stupid. I didn't really have any context of the fact that how dumb to try it so soon after Jack. Anyway, that's another story. But after Specs, we had this moment where I decided to go full into the videos and thought I can always do radio later. I can't do dumb videos 10 years from now after I got a radio job. Yeah. So that's why I didn't pursue radio right away. And and they didn't work, obviously. And then I was working midnights at Meyer, and some dude I was working with, I was starting to tell him my story. And he's like, "Oh, I got some hookup at DFN. I could probably get you a job interview." And so he did in the end. He had a hookup.
Yeah.
I had a job interview at WDFN to be a board op. And I got a suit in the end at I went to the Men's Warehouse. I got a suit.
Yeah. door.
I did not need a suit for this interview.
No.
And I show up to wherever the station was that was doing DFN for an interview to be a board op.
Yeah.
And and I never understood this. And Mike, you can actually ask me what you think about this. And maybe she just didn't like me, and that's fine. But I'd gone to Specs. At that point I was pretty new. I'd had an internship. I was just looking for a board op position. But she asked me where I thought I wanted to go in the radio business. And I said, I've always loved radio. And eventually I want to be on the air at some point. But, I'd love to just get a job I want to get started somehow and this and that. And I kind of, in the end, got well, maybe this isn't for you because you want to do more. Like, this isn't, this is too low on the totem pole for you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm stocking shelves at Meijer.
Yeah.
Who cares? Now maybe that was just her way of, she didn't like whatever.
Yeah. She was just trying to get rid of you, probably.
So that's
because, no,
I've always wondered about that job and what really, when you look at it now, that was in the
she was being polite, Isis, because all you're looking for is a foot in the door, and then what you do with it is what you do with it.
But she used it seemed odd that she chose to use the fact that I had drive to be on the air at some point as my negative.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? That's what she kind of went with.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, as someone who interviewed you, you were in those days a fucking. I mean, I saw gold where most people were terrified. You were a different bird altogether.
I get it.
So that would have been, for a board op position, that would have been oh God, what am I fucking bringing into the building?
You know what my mom always thought? We went to like I said, the men's warehouse. I got a suit just for this interview. But I had gone to a punk rock show the night before. Now, and I'm getting the suit. I'm at the place. They're sizing me up. I'm like, oh, it's for this interview. I wanted to do radio my whole life. I got an interview for a radio gig, but I hadn't washed out the temporary green dye for my mohawk the night before. So my mohawk was I don't think I even washed my hair. And so it wasn't up, but it was almost like how this is now, but it was green and still a little jelly. And it turns out the guy fitting me knew people at the radio station or something or whatever. And my mom, to this day, we don't talk about it that often, but when we talked about it, she always had this feeling that guy called his friend at the radio station. It's dude, this dude's got a green hair, and
this guy's a psycho.
Who knows? Who knows that? You know what I mean? Maybe
sabotage your gig. It's possible.
And another one, by the way, I always thought I had a job interview when I was at the interviewing with you guys. Still, I had one interview when I was with you guys still interning. It was for a station in Bad Axe, and it was a news station. And I'd done an interview, and I actually thought it went okay. And the one thing he said he really liked about me was I actually mailed in my demo and all my shit and whatever. And he said mail, and a lot of people were emailing, and he's like, oh, you're shocked how many people don't follow instructions. You actually mailed yours in. I respect that.
Yeah.
But Drew called him on the air. Drew called up the station.
I vaguely remember that.
Yes. Drew called, and Drew made and I don't care because I was laughing at the time, but he kind of really big stuff, the secretary and stuff. And kind of we're losing. I don't remember exactly how it went down. But afterwards, I remember thinking, dude, this is a small AM station in Bad Axe.
Yeah.
And Drew called on the air, and the secretary was kind of being Drew.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder if that was the best in the end. It doesn't matter.
Hilarious.
But it's just a thought I have always.
Yeah. Anyway, that's funny.
Sorry, I know those were a little random, but
you're good, buddy. Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks everybody for listening. Like I said, if we don't throw a member show out tomorrow, patreon.com/TDC podcast, we'll do it either tomorrow or Friday, depending when Amy is available. And I think 3G will be on it. So if you don't see it tomorrow, don't panic. But the Lions game tomorrow, we'll still be watching, taking on Dallas in Detroit. So anyway, thanks again, Isis. Let's do it again soon, buddy.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm around. So.
Okay. And seriously, let me know if you're going to open places. If, you should, yeah, I'm sure Landau would have you on to open a show when he's doing stuff.
My only problem is I haven't done stand up in a long time, but
yeah, Well, once you get a couple dates under your belt,
yeah.
and people will show up. There were other people. Hell yeah, open mic nights. I'll be there.
Yeah. No, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I got that. That last year was believe it or not, last year was probably one of my most proud moments doing comedy when I placed third in that Island Talent Show.
Hell yeah.
Only because I had to write those had to be clean sets, and I wrote
Of
them
course.
about the island.
Yeah.
So there was like not tested in any capacity.
I'm telling you, E, I've said it for many years. You don't give yourself enough credit because I think I think you could do really well.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yep. You're a unique.
Thank you.
You're a unique person. That it all boils down to that. So
right. Okay. Well, thank you. It's been fun. I appreciate it.
All right, pal. Have a great one. Bye, everybody. We'll see you. See you when we see you.